And hello, I'm Helen.
And I'm Sarah, and we're committed parenting. And
Indeed.
I have a question for you. So, does catching sight of that brief moment of sibling love melt your heart? Oh, I have to say, it totally melts my heart. And it might, and I just want to preface all this when I say it, just really notice that I did say brief
Brief.
moment of sibling love. Not to say it's always there, but like just that moment when they're doing something so sweet for each other or how they're interacting. There's just
Mm,
such kindness or connection or thoughtfulness. It's just, it brings me to my knees. It's actually, I was just saying to Helen before we got on this call, those are the moments, like, I love my moments with each of my kids. They're so special and they build so much memory. But I think the moments that fills my cup the most is when I look over and I get to witness my sons being brothers and
mm,
having some of that brother love.
mm,
And it just melts my heart like nothing else.
mm. No, me
Which
too.
is good probably because they're brief, and so that moment of melting my heart can carry me for weeks or months on end until another one happens.
And I was saying to Sarah this morning, I was sitting, I working on Zoom, and I just catch sight behind of me in the kitchen, my two boys who are now big. One of them is officially an adult, and I just catch sight of them, and they're like doing this. They're looking for food after they've been exercising together. They're looking for food, but you just witness this dance and this interaction between the two of them where what I'm present to is how well they know each other. They know each other and there's affection and it's count honorable. They are count honorable for each other.
That that's and I think that's why I love it so much because family and connection are so important to me, and I
Mm,
see the value that it offers. Like it's what it offers each person of our family to know that they're not alone, to know that
mm,
they have somebody that always has their back. They have a safe place they can always come to. They just really have that foundation for themselves in their life is what I'm really committed to. And I'm really clear, I am not going to be a permanent fixture,
mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
one day, they're going to go off and do their lives. There's so much they're going to
Yes,
bring to their mother or not bring to their mother. There's, a time when I may not be around for them. And so
exactly.
when I look over and I see who they can be for each other,
Mm,
I see that they will be that. Like, it's like you actually see the future. Like, you actually see, what? Things are actually good. It's like pretty settled around here that if something were to happen, they really do have each other and they really, I can see it. It would take something and it's not like it's all going to be perfect, but they would really be there for each other. They
mm,
would really do what it takes to support one another.
mm,
And that just fills me like nothing else.
mm,
This Mother's Day was actually the best part of my Mother's Day. It was so cute. My soon to be 16-year-old, last year was a turbulent time for our relationship. It was really not it was probably the worst part of my parenting life ever that existed. And, love wins the day, and we have this really beautiful relationship now. And here's my 16-year-old or soon to be 16-year-old, and I'm like kind of on my upstairs deck, and I kind of hear him and his brothers outside, and I'm listening and I can hear, okay, no, we need to really pick out the pretty one. So, and he has his 12-year-old and his 10-year-old brother, and they're all out there, and he's like, we're picking flowers for mom, and this is for her Mother's Day, and we're going to go deliver it. And you can hear my youngest totally resistant to this idea.
mhm.
And he's just causing this, and it's this beautiful sibling moment, and they come upstairs and they deliver me these flowers, and it was the best freaking thing ever. I was so moved. And the biggest thing was is because I saw who he was for his brothers.
Mm, mm,
I saw who he was for me. And it's just, you know what? Life's gonna be okay.
mm.
Was what I was just so left with. Like, they're gonna be okay. They have each other.
Mm. It's so fascinating. So both my parents have passed away, right? And it's so interesting because you know what my anchor is that I can turn to my brothers at any time and my sister at any time. And no, I don't, it's not like I'm doing it all the time, but I actually know their love and affection is there. May not, I don't know, it may not always look like the way I expected, but it's actually there. And for the longest time, I wasn't actually present to it. But I mean, like part of what's got caused out of this COVID thing is that I get on calls with them regularly and I actually can see it. I can actually see it be present. And that's what would fill my mom's heart, that she knew that was existing. That's all she really wanted for us, that we would have a relationship and be there for each other one way or the other. you know?
Yeah. Like it's so universal is what I hear. Like I'm so
Mm.
present to how I feel with my children, and you can hear
Mm.
that that's what would fill your mom up.
Oh my goodness. If
No,
my mom knew that we were doing that, she would be so filled up, you know? She really
be
would.
so moved. Like that's really like I think the biggest commitment that we have is like this family unity that gets to live and this
Mm.
foundation and
Mm.
legacy. And when that can be there, it's like, okay, job's done, job well done. I can rest at peace.
Yeah, and why I'm giggling is the conversations may not be the conversation she would wishing
Yeah, I
that
know
we
that's
had.
sibling closeness and connection doesn't always look like the parent thinks it should look.
Sure, exactly, exactly. And I think that's actually access is not expecting it to look a certain way, but actually noticing where it exists
Yeah,
and how it exists, because it's not going to look like the way we expect it to sometimes, right?
yeah, yeah. And it takes me back to like the younger years when the boys were all younger, and I had fighters. I had feisty fighters. And for me, I've been called a granola tree loving person in my lifetime. And so, but like, I just didn't even know what to do with it. Like, I did
Mm,
not know what to do with the fighting that was in the house. And it broke my heart because it, like,
mm,
to me, it kept meaning like they're never going to have sibling connections.
mm,
They're just never going to really be there for each other. They're just going to grow up like hating each other or resentful or like have all these stories about who they were for each other and how horrible they are and
mm,
their life with vengeance and regret. And it was a real, like, it was an actual real concern that I had.
mm,
And I remember at the time, like I put some time and commitment into fostering something I wanted to develop, but I don't think it was what I put into it. I think it was really like a time process of them like discovering and interacting. And like at the time, I remember any time I could notice any sense of like kindness or love, I'd made sure to like speak it out loud or notice it, or say it out loud so it can be seen, or so that I could remember and see like the smallest degree of that sibling love and connection. Like,
mm.
oh wow, like you passed by your brother and went straight to your room. That's so great. Like you didn't hit him in the head. Like looking for the positive part of it. But it really was a time thing. So I guess I just want to leave people with like if you're not experiencing that sibling love and connection, or
Mm.
you're not getting any of those moments, and maybe you have some fighters, and maybe it's actually nasty,
Yeah.
nasty, nasty between siblings. Um, look, they're getting communication with some people. Maybe you can create something or work something out or get some support so that you can have what you want to create. But really, like there is such a time and process, and part of that sibling interaction is par for the course and par
Hmm.
for what creates these relationships.
Hmm.
And sometimes like siblings will look back the most fondest and everything on those crazy times. Like I hear them sometimes, recollecting the past, and they're like, "Yeah, you terrorized me. You beat like I was terrified of you. I still am." And I hear them saying that sometimes, and it's really interesting just to witness their
Mm.
relationship.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's hope, anyways, if your kids are still beating
Yeah.
each other to a pulp.
Yeah, I mean, I know when mine was small, it was a lot of it was keeping people apart,
Yeah, like yeah, a lot of it
like
was just safety, like
managing
safety,
people's
safety.
spaces and energies. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I remember that really well. And I remember my mom saying, "Wow, you work really hard." I'm like, uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a number of years, like I would say 3, 4 years, that it was just continually managing the spaces so that people
Hmm.
could stay safe.
Mm.
And it took something. And I really never thought the kind of sibling relationships that are here right now would be something I always wanted, but they're here. Like I get moments of them, and
Mm.
it carries
Mm.
the day. So, as you're there witnessing, like really look and look for, and that's what I even hear right now. Like, we see what we look for,
Yeah, we do.
and we do, right? If I'm like frustrated with my kids fighting, I'm going to notice every time they poke or touch or say something or whatever, and I'm going to be on alert, and I'm going to be, you know, managing that. But and there might be some safety management to do. Don't step over that. But
Mm-hmm.
really what I hear though is like, what if I looked for the sibling connection?
Mm.
What if I looked for it in each moment? And like however it is, and it doesn't mean like they can't be exactly how they are, but like there is a way they are connecting with their other sibling. That's even happening
Yes.
right now.
Yep. Hands down. Really
And
good.
that's a really beautiful thing to look for. And then just love it up.
Yeah. Those brief
Store
moments.
it in a bank.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Awesome.
Awesome. So that is that for today. So look for those beautiful sibling moments or the moments of that sibling connection
Yeah.
and cherish it.
Yeah. And we will be back tomorrow, 12:30.
12:30 Pacific time. Be here.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.